Hello all, today's topic is File Transfer Protocol FTP. As the name says, this protocol is basically used to transfer the file from one machine to the other or retrieve the file from the remote machine to the local machine. So, FTP uses services of TCP. So, the layer 3 protocol that is used for FTP is TCP. It needs two TCP connections basically for FTP, that is the well known port 21 for control connection and 20 for data connection. So, there are two TCP connections, one is for control, the other one is for data. Okay. So, first when FTP connection is established between the client and the server, it uses the port number 21 for control connection. Later for data transfer, data connections are established on port number 20 in the server side. As you can see here, this is the user, that is the FTP client, where there is user interface and there is a control process in the client side and the server side. So, control process is the connection is established between the control process in the user side and control process in the server side on port number 21. Okay. So, that is used for control connection, and data transfer, for that new connections are made between the client and the server, that is on port number 20 on the server side. Okay, and it uses, in between the network uses TCP at layer 3. Here we can see that the server first it makes a passive open on port number 21. Okay, passive open means it opens the port and it waits for some incoming connection. When the client wants to connect with the FTP server, the control process in the client side with some source port, for example here as you can see it is 62010. Okay, it establishes a connection with the server on port number 21. Okay, then it becomes a active open. Fine. So, when server waits for a connection, then it is called a passive open. When the client makes initiates a connection with the server on port number 21 and establishes the connection, it becomes an active open. Okay. Now, uses well known port 20. 20 is for data connection. So, client issues a passive open on the ephemeral port, say X. Client uses port command to tell the server that port number X, okay, about the port number X. The server issues an active open from port 20 to port X. The server creates a child server ephemeral port number to serve the client. Okay, this is how the data connection is established. Fine. So, let me explain it to you. We know that the data connection is on port number 20. The server has binded itself to the well known port number 20. So, what happens is when client wants to make a connection, it issues a passive open on the port number X. Okay, client uses port command and it says that it tells the server about the port number X on which it wants to make the data connection. Okay, then the server issues an active open from port number 20 to the port X on the client side. Then the server creates a child server or ephemeral port number to serve the client. So, here this is how it works. Here we can see that already a control process has been established. Now, the client wants to establish a data connection. So, it makes a passive open on some port number, all right, and then after this the client informs the server about the port number using the port command, all right. Then after that the server makes an active connection to the port number that the client has informed, that is 63000. So, the client server initiates an active open on this and the connection is established between the client and the server for data, all right. So, this is how the data connection is established. Now, just like Telnet what we saw here as well, the NVT universal character set is used. We know that in the client side may use some character set, server side may use some character set, and there has to be some compatible in between. Okay. So, that is nothing but NVT character set ASCII as you can see here. So, whatever data is generated from the client side, that is converted to the universal NVT character set, and the server side again it is converted back to the server the character set of the remote machine, and then it is given to the server for processing. So, here you can see that this is the local computer character set and this is the remote computer character set, and in between there is the NVT character set. So, this is converted to NVT and it is sent to the server, and server in turn converts it to the remote systems character set, and it is the data is processed. all right. So, and this as well we have seen in the telnet part, that is the NVT data, whatever character set is there, that could be two types. One is data format and the other one is control format. How do you identify that whether it is a data or a control? If it is data, the first bit is set to 0. If it is control character, then first bit is set to 1. Remaining 7 bits is used for control. Here remaining 7 bits is used for data part. Yeah. So, here we can see there is a data connection between the client and the server. So, what all client and the server exchange? They exchange the file type, the data structure, transmission mode, all these are defined by the client. Okay. So, what type of data type the client supports, what kind of data structure the client supports, what is the transmission mode that the client supports. So, all these are exchanged between the client and the server. Okay. They negotiate like about all these information. Now, file type can be, it could be ASCII or EBCDIC, it could be non-print, or it could be whatever it's in the telnet whatever we have seen, or it could be an image. Okay. These are the various file types that are supported. Then data structure, file structure, record structure, page structure, these I will not go in depth of all these things. So, these are the various data structure types that is supported in FTP. And then the transmission modes can be stream mode, block mode, or the compressed mode. Now, the various commands, processing commands that are supported in the control connection of the FTP are access commands, file management commands, data formatting commands, port defining, file transfer, and the miscellaneous. We will see one after the other. Access commands. Okay. So, that is first, when you FTP to a remote machine, it requires a user ID. So, how will the control command exchanged using this command user? Then a password has to be given, that is pass. Okay. Then account has to be changed, then it is ACCT. Okay. Quit, when it wants to quit the FTP. Then abort the previous commands. All these are access commands. Then file management, these are some of the file management commands, like CWD is changed to another directory. Similarly, to delete a file, there is a command, and then list the subdirectories or files, and then this is create a new directory, then display the name of the current working directory, delete a directory. So, all these are some of the file management commands. Then similarly, there are some data formatting commands, like type, what type of data is supported, is it ASCII, EBC, DIC, define the file type, and if necessary print the format. So, for that this is the command. Then STRU and mode, this is transmission mode. Okay, define the organization, as we saw the type, the organization of the data or the data structure could be file, record, or page. Okay, so how do you define for these command, how do you how do you tell the server about these? By using these data formatting commands. Then port defining commands, we know that data connection is established after client issues a port command with the client port. So, how is it sent? Using this command port. Then the server chooses a port, how? PASV is the command for that. Okay. And then file transfer command, you want to retrieve some file from the server, then for that it is RETR, retrieve files. Okay. Files are transferred from server to the client. Then it is STOR, all right, that is store files are transferred from client to the server. Then like this, these are some of the these two are very important one, that is, one is to retrieve, the other one is to store. Okay. Retrieve means get the file, store means put the file. Okay. So, like this, these are some of the important file transfer commands. And yeah, some more, return the status of the file, position of the file marker, all these are file transfer commands. Then miscellaneous commands like help, then it gives all the commands that are supported in the FTP. So, help, site, system. So, all these are some of the miscellaneous commands. Then every FTP command generates at least one response. A response has two parts, 3-digit number, the code followed by the text. Okay. The responses, that after you issue a command, there has to be some response. Okay. So, these are some of the responses, like 120, service will be ready shortly. 125, that is data connection open, data transfer will start shortly. All these are some of the file status is okay. These are some of the commands. For example, if it is successful, then it is command okay, 200. Okay. Then 211, state system status or help reply. So, like this, these are some of the responses of the FTP the server, whatever responds to the client commands. Now, here is, this is how it works, file transfer process. So this is the data connection. Once all these are done in the control connection, then comes the data connection. How data connection is established, just now I told you. Okay, client issues a port command and then server initiates active open on that port. Okay, server port will be 20 and client port will be whatever client says in the port command. Then storing a file, retrieving a list, all these are some of the things that you can do in a data connection. All right, so here we see an example. Very step one is make a connection, FTP connection from the client to the server, that is the control process here. Then once it is ready, then it is service ready, it is response saying 220 service ready, that is okay. Then it gives the username, then it server asks for a password, client gives the password, then if it is successful, then it says port 888, that is till now it is control connection. Okay, now the server should initiate a data connection. That's the reason client is saying port 888. That means you please make an active connection on this port number. So server port will be 20 and data so client port will be 8888. So server initiates a data connection. Now data connection is established. Now the client may say list. Okay, user report. That means the server will list the files that are present in this path. All right. So this is the response saying 125 data connection okay, then data transfer, anything can happen, like since the command is list, okay, the server will send all the data, I mean the directories and subdirectories that are present in this path. So that is the data transfer. So it gets displayed in the client. Finally when client says quit, it says 221 service closing. So the connection is closed at this point. All right. So here there is some more example, so you can go through this. Let me demonstrate this.